Welcome to my Friday ramblings. This week has been a little bit chillier. In fact, we've had the first snow on Mount Wellington, Kooyunyi, for this season. So that's it's a little bit chilly, and that meant that getting to bed of a night time was thinking, do I need an electric blanket or an extra blanket? Decided against the extra blanket because there's possibilities there will still be some warm nights to come. And so the electric blanket was on one night this week in order to just take the chill off the bed when I got in. The week started well with last Sunday, we had our day of gathering. We had about 35 adults and a heap of children there talking about what our parish vision might be, what we might look towards into the future. It's a lot of work to do, and I think some people, at least the people who are there, are now a little bit more aware of the gaps in my abilities, and perhaps will now be able to step up and take those steps to help us move forward and to do some of the things that we need to do. Tuesday was a Council of Priests Day and consulters. So there was lots of things happening there. Not a lot I can talk about, unfortunately, but there were things happening, and that's a good start. So we've got a few steps and a few directions that we can move in. This morning we had the induction and commissioning of leaders at St Aloysius College, so that was a good event. It looked like it might rain at one stage because it was an outdoor event, since they don't have a building large enough to safely and properly involve people, especially with a number of parents and grandparents who were there to watch their youngsters being commissioned and inducted as leaders of the college. The other thing that happened this week is that I celebrated Mass last night and enjoyed a meal with the members of the Mary Aikenhead Ministry pilgrimage team, who are here in Hobart for a couple of days. They start with a Mass at St Joseph's, and then have after a meal, and then today ventured around to some of the areas where the Sisters of Charity, in their initial work in the diocese, were involved with places like the women's prison and other significant parts of our history. So it's been a good week, a quiet week in some sense, but a few highlights thrown in. This weekend is thankfully a quieter weekend, not a lot extra that has to happen. And I've just remembered two other events that happened last week that were quite good. I managed to get to a concert last Sunday night for Darren Cogan. Darren Cogan is an Australian singer, guitarist who is doing at the moment a tour with the songs of John Denver. And that was a great experience, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Perhaps embarrassed myself a little bit in that I enjoyed it too much. He told us we could sing at any time as long as we were singing the same song. So I was singing most of the songs that he was singing. And on Monday, we had Andrew Chin, the Australian singer-songwriter, who does working with children, and especially in a religious liturgical experience. And he was here and in the college, and that was a great catching up with him. Next week is going to be a few things on. Monday is a public holiday, so it'll be a day of rest and recreation. So I'll talk more about that next week. So I hope you had a good week. Hope you have a great weekend. And I look forward to catching up with you next time on Father Mike's Friday Ramblings. Cheers.